I'm Peter Carr and we're going to be doing a segmental brick arch. We're going to look at the set out of the arch, marking the skew backs, laying the voussoirs and going over the crown.
As with all bricklaying jobs, it's important to get these set out right. So here is the set out for a basic segmental arch laid in a single skin wall. It's important to get your perp ends evenly spaced together. You can use your pencil simply to get an approximate perp end joint of about 7 or 8 mil. Obviously you'll need to use a different method if you want to get a bigger perp end joint. Next, you want to check where the arch centre is going to sit within the wall. The one being shown is simply set out from a half, one side of the wall, which would be called the abutment, and we want to see where the arch centre finishes on the other abutment. Here it's not going to work exactly a half to a half, or for that matter a full to a full. The choices could be we could tighten up the joints in between right up to try and make that a half. However, if they're too tight, then the perp end joints won't look any good in the wall itself. Because it's too much to tighten up, we're going to have to put a cut into one of the abutments. So I'll mark the end of the wall so you don't lose that position. Mark both ends. In fact, there will be a short half brick return on each end of the wall just to help stabilize the arch wall. As you can see on the right hand side of the abutment, that marked where the half finishes. Now on the left abutment we're going to mark where the end of the centre finishes, and then measure the distance between the full brick and find out what size cut's left. Now that we have the correct size cut, we can remove the bricks that have been traced out dry and begin to build corners for the two abutments. Make sure that when you measure the cut and cut it, that it's an accurate cut, particularly given that this cut is not much bigger than a half brick. We want to try and avoid using a zipper joint in the wall. You'll see that later. It's also important to get the wall level. If there is any variation in the floor, you need to take out the variation, if possible, on the first bed joint. So find out where the wall's falling to, and then lay a tight joint on the high end and a bigger joint on the low end. We're now at the point where we're finishing the second abutment, laying the large half bat or a small 3/4 bat into the wall. Check your arch centre size fits in the opening. Probably allow 3 mil on each end of the arch centre so that it can be easily removed after the arch is carried over the arch centre. Now it's a matter of simply building the arch abutments, plumbing the inside edge of each of the abutments. Now you can see here the beginning of the what could potentially have become a zipper joint. That is that the two perp end joints in courses immediately on top of each other are so close to each other that it in fact becomes almost a straight joint. Most bricklayers have a rule of any cuts less than a 140mm cut shouldn't be used, and that way you would avoid the zipper joint.